What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle Senour, Beauty by Michelle Senour, formerly known on Instagram, and this is my Six-Figure Stylist team. So, yesterday was day one of the Six-Figure Stylist Live, very first one we've ever done, and today is day two. Since you guys already watched that other vlog, I know you did, that was all about the inner you, the emotional side. So it was very, very heavy, lots of tears, super crazy. So many tears. And today is gonna be more business-based. It's gonna be more numbers-based. So it's gonna definitely use that other side of your brain, and we're really excited to do that.
Yeah.
But I thought it'd be super fun this morning, you guys, if we just recapped a little bit about yesterday. I wish you guys could have heard our conversation last night after the class. We were all so fired up, and just the things that we had to say were super powerful, but you know, we don't always catch everything on there. So we're gonna recap that this morning. So if you guys don't know, this is Jessica and this is Heidi. These are my assistant coaches. So they took the very first Six-Figure Stylist and are now coaching alongside me. So I feel like you guys have a way different perspective than what I have about the program, because obviously I made it and I'm really in it. But I kind of want to get your feedback from yesterday and just your thoughts and kind of the evolution, whatever you kind of want to kind of talk about. You want to start?
Yeah, I'll start.
Cool.
So yesterday was awesome to see everybody's reaction and to see like what I took from it the first time, and even listening in, I'm like, oh yeah, I should definitely start playing that in my head. Like I should do that. I should what's the word?
I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah, I'm trying to say
implementing.
There it is. I'm not even
getting
trying
our
to.
words.
Yes,
We're
we're getting
getting
our words in. It's early morning. Come on, guys. But even me, listening to you yesterday, I was like, oh yeah, I need to do better at that.
It gives you like more ideas, like
Yeah.
with like the things that they say that you don't really like realize on a day-to-day basis.
I think,
and that so much is so like relatable. Like when people say things, you're like, oh, and then you're like, oh my gosh, like that's totally me.
Yes.
Like, and I that's why I like when like people are like speaking out, because it like, you know, the girl next to her probably wanted to say that, but like didn't, and so it makes you really think.
I think the coolest thing for me as an educator too, and I'm sure you guys can feel this as well, is like you learn so much from teaching the content. Like I kept saying yesterday, like, yes, I created this, but these are things that I have to live out every single day. And I think the second most fun part is when the audience is interacting with you, because it's one thing if I just go on and I'm just like, blah, and I just like speak at people, but I feel like they're speaking with me. And I think that's why it makes everything feel so powerful, and the energy is so crazy and captivating, is because it's actually a collaborative experience, not just like me.
It's not just like you teaching and telling them this is what I know. It's like everyone else like putting their opinions in, and
Yeah, the energy was just crazy yesterday. Like there's that energy that was in here from the beginning, middle, and end was something that I couldn't even imagine. Like I knew it was going to be
I don't think we
but like
thought.
no, it was like the connections though. Like the connections between each and every single stylist was like
awesome.
incredible.
Yeah.
So we were really in it, right? Like, so I feel like we don't always get to see everything because we're like in the coaching role and we're connecting and we're talking with people. But we have two ladies on the side who were kind of a different perspective. So we have Tina over here. She took the Six-Figure Stylist 2 times, and her role within this yesterday was to kind of hype people up, be a great energy, and we really wanted to share Tina's success story because it's really, really, really good, and that's where a lot of the tears came out. And so Tina, kind of being like on the edges, but like also submerged, like what were some of the experiences that you had? Did people come up to you? Were they talking to you about it, or what were some of your experiences yesterday?
I just feel like, like you get in your head about things. I had no idea I was that powerful. So I didn't know I could make people cry for like a good reason. Not that I make people cry for a bad reason. But it was just
I cry every time I hear your story.
I couldn't believe it. And I feel like just like the women's empowerment that was in here yesterday, like that, I was like, you couldn't mess with us. Like we were an army. It was like big. But I'm shook. Like I have no words for it. And I think it's so cool. I was thinking this morning, it's like, this will kind of be like my 3rd time I've taken it. It feels like that. And every time I've like learned something so different about myself and like what I can implement like in my life.
Yeah, so true.
And just to see like where I've come from the beginning, it's like, holy cow, I'm like, I did that. I did that.
You sure did,
with the
girl.
help of all of you. But
I think I think what's really cool, and we have another stylist here as well, Jordan, she's taking it for the second time. And I feel like even myself too, like I feel like I'm in a different place than when I created it. And I think every single time that you take it, wherever kind of your head is or whatever maybe the challenge is within your life, that shifts and that changes. And so you take something, even though it's similar content, you take something completely different away from the program.
Yeah, because you change, like as a personality, like personalities change, like your goals change, like, so I think that every time that you, because I'm the same way as Tina, like every single time that I'm like retaking it and being a part of the class, it's like I'm learning something different, but like I'm changing, you know, so like that makes total sense.
But you probably feel stronger because you're like, okay, I've got a little bit of this down. Like you have almost like another level of confidence because you're not coming into it from ground zero. You're like, I've got a little bit of this, like let's add on to that. And I think that's what I was trying to tell a lot of the stylists yesterday. If they started to feel overwhelmed about, oh my gosh, I have to make so many changes, I'm like, you don't have to make so many changes. You just have to make one change and then make the next change and then make the next change. And talking about highest priority, and when you feel that overwhelm, how do you overcome that, and how do you find that highest priority goal that you have to hit?
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, I think
Which keeps moving out. Yeah.
Yes.
cool too from like a younger like perspective as like from like when I had like started, and I feel like some of these girls are kind of like where I was at. So I think just giving them hope to be like, okay, you can just start with small changes every day and it adds up to this like big amount.
Massive success.
Yeah, massive success.
It was really cool to see all the girls like after, like, I want to talk to Tina. Like someone waited around to talk to you.
Yeah,
Like
I
that
felt
was-
cool. This is like the coolest I've ever been in my entire life. So I think like after this weekend, like, oh man.
You can't tell her nothing.
That's what's really cool though, because like we're all a team and we're all like, you know, the same, like we have the same similarities, but like we're all like so different, you know, like Michelle was saying yesterday, like what she can give to someone I can't, and what I can give to someone she can't. And I think that's what makes it so empowerful and like so life-changing, is that you actually have like a person that you can connect with, you know what I mean? Because we're all so different and we all like learn it in like a different way. So it's just fun to have someone that's like on the same level as you.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the biggest and best changes that we've made to the program is one, being able to take it live, but two, I really think adding more personalities to the picture, because whenever we get together, we're really able to collaborate and we're really able, everybody's always able to add some value that inside of my own head I haven't thought about. And kind of on that topic, so Katie over here, she has been our photographer for the event, and and so if any good pictures come out, they're all from her. The cover photo, they're all from her. But I think you have a really unique position because she actually came on a little bit later. So she was hired on a little bit later into the game, and she did one of our little coaching sessions with us, but she truly actually really didn't know anything about the program. She's the only one on the staff that actually hasn't taken the program. She's not a stylist, but she's freaking amazing. And I think it would be really cool to hear what your perspective was as somebody hearing it for the first time, and I guess even not being a stylist.
Yeah, I think so. I was kind of in awe, first of all, so that kind of like needed to wear off because you know you're gonna like a little blinded by that. But just like the insights, like even from our own team members that you gain, it's like a deeper sense of community and a deeper sense of connection that I was just like so enamored by. And then just the overall momentum of people coming together who want to change their lives. There's something so magical about that, and just being around that is like
Energy.
It's inspiring, it's moving, it's like I'm trying to find the right words. But it's like magic. That's the word I can describe it as. Yeah, magic.
Could
magic.
you relate everything that was taught yesterday to yourself?
Absolutely.
But from a different perspective. So for those of you guys who don't know Katie, she's actually my salon manager, and so she does work in the salon industry now. But she has a different role, but she's still always in the service industry connecting with people. And I think with just that knowledge that you were able to gain yesterday from a mental, internal, and a giving perspective was probably so unique.
Absolutely.
And we get asked all the time, can I take this if I'm not a stylist? And you know, really we're kind of niche down, but I'm not saying never.
No. And there's something about like manifesting the life you want to live that's translatable throughout, you know, everything. And so even if you're not a stylist, those goal setting things, those all that
You were
like
just
can
talking
come
about
into
that in
it.
the back room.
Yes.
About how she was like, oh, I picked up some things yesterday. Like, I need to start doing this. And I didn't realize I had like fallen off.
Yeah.
And, like, so much change has like happened in her life, like coming onto the team. And then like, you know,
Absolutely.
like it opening her mind that she kind of needed to get back on track.
Yeah, and I just feel grateful. I feel grateful to know you guys and you be around it, because when you're around it, you live and breathe it. And it's
We're so
the
happy to have you.
Everyone, you gotta come be a part of the fire.
For sure.
So with that being said, we are about to start day 2, like I said, which is all about the numbers. So we're gonna go do a little mini study sesh before everything gets started. And then the energy is gonna change in here because all the stylists are gonna come in, they're gonna eat some yummy breakfast. They have homework, you guys. You don't just get to become a certified 6-figure stylist without putting in the work. So we gotta check off some homework, do some motivation, inspiration this morning, kind of connect with the team and the stylists, and it's gonna be a great day. Let's go!
Get me out of here. Just get me out of here. Just get me out of house.
All right. Does my face look funny? Great. All right, guys. Day 2, as you guys heard this morning, we are about to get started. How you guys feeling? Woo! How are you guys feeling about yesterday? Are you guys ready? Let's do it. There we go.
Takeaway was actually writing down my biggest goal and then having an action plan to achieve it.
Yeah, was it
And that's-
interesting to think about, because you probably had a couple goals, right?
Well,
But you're
right.
like, what's the biggest, what's
What's
the...
the biggest one? What's the most important one?
Yes.
And then all the other little goals were combined with that big one, and I've never really written anything down like that before.
Yeah.
Thought about it, I just never done it. So that was huge for me yesterday.
I love that. And a really cool success story that actually Britt had yesterday. I'll talk about a goal that she had written down that I reminded her last night that she actually achieved. And it was kind of the same thing. So I went to a class in Chicago, and there was a girl working with her that had been like a manager for her employee since the beginning, running behind the scenes, back end stuff. She was like the it girl when it came to the events, and Britt just kept saying like, I want to be that girl one day. I want to be that girl for you one day. And I was like, I don't believe your ass. I mean, she's like 19, you know, whatever at the time. And yesterday I texted her, I said, Britt, you're that girl. You're that girl. Woo! What everybody needs to have in their schedule, though, is your 3 daily non-negotiables. Okay, so for your non-negotiables, these are 3 things that are going to be completely different for everybody. I don't have children, so mine is probably not going to be I need to spend with my children, but you might have children, right? Maybe you like to work out, maybe you don't like to work out, maybe you like to meditate, maybe you don't like to meditate, maybe you like to eat lunch. Hello, who likes to eat lunch? Okay. But your 3 non-negotiables are going to be the very first thing that you put on your schedule. Because when you put the other stuff first, your 3 non-negotiables, they go to the wayside, right? So why would you not put your top 3 things that have to happen for you every single day at the very top of your list, and then fill in the rest around it? So I'm going to tell you guys my non-negotiables because, you know, why not? So mine are family, so a little bit of family time, fitness, and food. I have to eat every day consistently or I don't feel good. Fitness, that's my therapy, okay? That's my workout. I have to have that time for myself no matter what it is because it helps me kind of center myself, calm down. I have a hard time relaxing, so it just really helps me kind of get in my head and really just focus on one thing and just focus on me for that hour and a half, whatever I decide to spend. And then family, right? Connection with just, I don't have any kids, but my significant other, even if it's 30 minutes, I just need a little bit of connection time in every single day. So what I want you guys to write down right now are your 3 daily non-negotiables. I don't know what's going to happen in my mornings, so I can't plan them. But I love that. Like, I love that I can wake up in the morning and be like,
hey buddy, how's it going? And he's in a good mood or a bad mood, and we're gonna deal with it then. So I have exactly what I need to do in the morning. I have my time. Then I go to work, and I am a workaholic. So at work, I am behind the chair too much. I'm running my business and taking care of my family and doing all that stuff while I'm all in one. So, but for some reason, it works for me. The clutter in my head works for me.
Because of her personality.
Because of my personality. Like, no one will ever understand what's upstairs. No one. And the few select people that do, like, like they get it. You're like, oh, okay.
Or you've implemented solutions though in ways that you don't, like when you're like, hey, can you tell me this? Can you write this down? Can you remember that? So you thought, okay, good. So little vlog update. So we just finished up with systems and structures. They brought the heat, you guys. Their questions were out of this world. The conversation was so good. But now we're gonna get into something a little bit more serious. We're talking about money. So the six-figure formula is kind of like what the six-figure stylist, you know, kind of known for. But my goal with that is just basically to simplify numbers. It doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be you have to make $100,000. You could want to make $250. You could want to make $50. Whatever you want to make. The formula works for all of that. So we're gonna get inside of the harder part of our brains and work on some numbers right now, and we're super excited. You should congratulate yourself and your clients should congratulate you, but if you sound excited about the fact that your prices are increasing because you're getting better and you just went to the six-figure stylist and you're feeling amazing, they're gonna feel good about it too. And if they physically can't do it because it's a budget thing, that is okay. Because guess how many hairstylists there are in the world? A lot. A lot of hairstylists. But what I always like to offer, again, anytime there's a problem, what's the solution? I have another site, even if they don't work with you or you can't align yourself with them, you're like, hey, I had a client who was like mad because I would work on 45-minute blocks and she was a haircut client and she was definitely an energy vampire and I was working up my way to kind of release her. But so if I start at 2 o'clock, that means I do a 2 p.m. or a 2:45. I work in 45-minute blocks and I don't wiggle from there because then I have random gaps and it just doesn't work for me. So she would be like, well, can't you do this time? And no, actually I work on 45-minute blocks so I can do this time or this time. She said, well, that doesn't work for me. I'm like, I totally understand that. I'd love to accommodate you, but in order to fit the maximum amount of clients in, you know, with my schedule, I have to do it that way. And then she was like, okay, well, I don't think I can do it. And I was like, okay. I was like, that's fine. Well, why don't you go home and think about it? And why don't you let me know? You don't have to make a decision right here. That's okay. And then she never came back. It was just one that I was like, oh, because I always felt like this like tug. And it was like, do you even really like my work? Are you really even like, do you enjoy this experience at all? Like, and so then when that came up, I think it was just the perfect way for my schedule didn't fit her needs anymore. And that's where when I transitioned, I didn't have as many men's cuts or I didn't have as many whatever, not because of anything else other than the fact that I just wasn't able to rebook them if they had to reschedule. So I had a lot of great conversations with my men's cuts, like, oh my God, we've had such a good time together. I love this so much. Oh, I hate that we have to not see each other, but I'm so excited that you're gonna have someone that works better for your schedule. And then it was just a great relationship, so it doesn't have to be a negative. Oh, Tashana, right? Yes! Come collect your prize, darling. So essentially on this ticket it tells you how to redeem it. Isn't it fun? Yeah. Even though it's like totally like something you get digitally, I just think it's cute that you get like a little ticket. Okay, cool. Let's pick the next one. So I can't see everybody now that I'm down here. I'm like,
you try your best to hold up, but I see you giving.
Yeah, that. Yeah, girl. You did it. Six-figure stylists, don't hit the light. Okay, ready? Six-Figure Stylist on 3. 1, 2, 3. Six-Figure Stylist! We didn't even have to redo that. That was a one-take drink. All right. Picture over there. All right, guys. Picture over in the front, and then you're out of here. All right, guys. I just got lipstick all over my hands, and here we are. We're about to take a picture after picture. Today was a little bit crazy. They were probably brain fried. I'm probably brain fried. Britt's probably brain fried. But you know what? Tomorrow's a new day. Social media. Let's go.
Continue, like,
Oh, yeah.
questions, like, just ask, you know, like, we're friends now.
Well, now you have somebody that you can reach out to, and you can know that you can like confide in them, and you can be like, hey, like, can I ask your advice on this? Just like we've all done with each other, right?
Right.
How many times have we heard like family, friends, group, support, mentor, like throughout the
having
2 days, and it's
community.
like I was like, oh, I feel so connected, I feel so loved, I feel so safe, I feel like we're family and friends,
Yeah.
and I feel like that they just
special.
want to continue.
And that's really what we're. That's really what we're.
community.
That's really
Yeah.
what we're trying to do.
yeah.
And some like one of the girls was like, "Oh, was this always like what you wanted to do?" And I was like, "I mean, in a theory, yes, but I didn't know what the content was going to be or who it was going to be with or what it was all going to be about." But obviously, when it was created, the only option was to do it that way. But yeah, I was just saying like, yeah, I've always wanted to do something like this where. And even sometimes, you know, obviously they're paying for this and they're getting a lot of value, but people love to come to stuff like that. And that's what Emily said to me last night. She's like, I'm just feeling so grateful because I just love being in that sort of environment. There's no way.
Nothing. Like 25% would be like your color expense.
Yeah.
It was really interesting too to see like the small things people took away. Like they thought it was genius that you have an iPhone here.
Yeah, they thought that was crazy. They literally, I saw it, they were like, oh my god.
If you want to reach me.
Like just little light bulbs of things are like. you're
See,
just
but
like,
that's
oh.
the thing though. That's what I'm saying. Like there are so many tips, or like the 3 option rule, or
Yeah.
the.
I mean, it's like not even like the program, but like just like the small little details that's like
Yeah.
Conversations that come up.
and they're actually taking
Yeah.
it seriously, they will leave with a lot of damn tips and tricks. But if they're putting around on their phone watching Instagram, they're not going to.
I think
Dustin.
I think I could add some things.
That is set though is that like if stuff ever like yes I have a lot of things I have to get done and you guys definitely respect like those boundaries for me, but I think like one of the things we always talk about, like if something is ever like down and dirty and you need me at freaking midnight 1 a.m. like whatever it is, like we're gonna rock it out, like we got this, like and I think we were talking about like through like tough situations too, we were like we feel like we just kind of got like a little bit like closer, like that was really hard and I feel like we just were there, we supported each other, and but I also did tell them that was the first thing I said when I'm in the salon, I'm on.
Yeah.
I'm in the salon. I don't book a lot of business time. Every now and again, yes, I'm like, hey, I gotta like do this on the laptop or whatever, but very rarely am I really putting in a lot of business hours in the break room. I don't have my office here for a reason.
Right.
That's something I should have told them too.
Yeah.
My office, like,
I was
as
think everyone
you know
should
what
have
my
like a
shoulders
photo
right now?
shoot.
Do we want
Because
4
the photo
days?
shoot's what gives them the confidence leading.
I think so.
Want to rub my shoulders tonight? Can I give you a good rubber?
I do. I do have good hands.
She goes, I do have good hands.
Guys, like, it actually is like popping pain. I'm like, just rub me for like 1 minute.
But if you think about it, like if we have another day, we don't have to rush. We don't have to hurry through.
And we have some more Q&A time.
Does that feel good?
That's why I get paid the big
I can see you.